want to ask a question, please raise your hand, and the folks over here will come give you the mic when ready.
Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for the opportunity. Where do we start? What a night. Was the night I expected. Obviously, it didn't go the way I expected it to go. Nevertheless, we train, we prepare, we do everything we can do to give y'all everything that we just gave y'all. And, you know, I hope that you guys got everything that you expected to get from this fight between Showtime, Shawn Porter, and Terence Crawford. It's hard because I am so competitive that, you know, I'm very proud of him and for him and the job that he did tonight. And it's really hard for me to go away. You know, I want to fight again. I want to fight right now. It was the same thing when I fought Errol Spence. When my name wasn't called as the winner, I wanted it the same night. And, you know, I know it's going to take some time for this feeling to go away. And, you know, as this feeling goes away, I'll probably be more proud of myself and everything that I did through the course of the night. But here we are, you know, not where I expected to be tonight. So with that said, I'll allow you guys to ask me whatever you want to ask. And
hey, Shawn.
How badly were you hurt at the finish there, and did you disagree with the stoppage?
You know what? I understand my dad's position, and he saw. I took too many shots right there, clean, and it's not the Porter way. That's not what we do. It was bad defense. Hands were down, and I think part of me is just wanted to get back and was careless, and then the other part of me was a little out of it and not able to defend myself quick enough. So, you know, again, I understand what my dad's position was there, and I didn't expect it though. But when I saw it, I was okay.
Shawn, one last thing, and maybe Kenny, you can chime in. How do you think Crawford would do with Spence if that were his next fight? How do you think that they would match up? You were in there with him.
Terence is, you know, everything, you kind of use that word different, and different describes the way somebody is, and you're not really being able to describe exactly what they are. So you say that they're different, and that's exactly what Terence Crawford is to boxing. He's different. It's like you can't really pick up everything that it is that he does. You just know that he does everything more than exceptionally well. I felt like in the fight with Errol Spence Jr. going 12 rounds, I felt like, you know, it was not as tough as fighting Terence Crawford. So hopefully that answers that.
Kenny, you want to answer?
Shawn, take us through a little bit of the 10th round as you came out. How did you feel you were doing on the scorecards? And just take us through that a little bit.
What's up, TC? I wasn't quite sure, actually, and I think this is one of the first fights that my dad he didn't have the, you know, you're up, you're down. We didn't have any of those conversations. We literally going round by round. My dad did an excellent job in the corner. Gave me some really good instruction and some really good adjustments to make as well. You know, I think my execution was there, but my consistency wasn't there. But through the 10 rounds that we had gone, I really wasn't sure where the score was. There were some rounds that I felt like were definitely mine, and then there were some other rounds where, you know, I get hit a little bit more than usual against Terence Crawford. So, you know, I automatically feel like, you know, that's not my round. You know, so I really wasn't sure where the score was, and you know, my dad didn't really give me a score. I think he was more so focused on let's take this round by round and let's stay focused and let's beat this man. And you know, we didn't get it tonight.
Did you feel it was a little bit of a flashback for you to the Spence fight? Because I believe same thing, right? 10th round.
You know what? I didn't until, you know, being in the background and someone saying, you know, hey, you know, when did that happen? And I was like, 10th round, exact same thing, you know what I mean? So no flashbacks. You know, I did the best I could to stay in the moment and do the best I could in the moment. But, you know, collectively, I spoke with Barry just very shortly in the back room, and we agreed that I didn't get him uncomfortable the way I intended to, and I let him find his comfort zone and work in it. And, you know, it's just what you cannot do against Terence Crawford, and I allowed that tonight.
Great effort
Too
tonight.
much. I allowed that too much tonight.
I got 2 questions, Bob. First of all, you've been with Terence Crawford a very long time. Where would you rank this in terms of the difficulty of fight that Terence had tonight, Bob?
You know, looking back on his whole career, I would say this is the most difficult.
Kenny, I have one more question for you. I saw the highlights. We didn't get to really see the exchange. What were the first words you told your son after you entered the ring? Because you were pretty adamant as the second knockdown happened. I saw you immediately jump up to the ring post that you wanted the fight stopped. So as you got to Shawn, what words were exchanged between you two?
That's it. That's it. I said, that's it. We're done. That's it.
Did he argue with you at all?
No, there was no argument. He was more within himself, mad at himself, not mad at what I was saying to him. Like he was kind of stuck in this, there. As he went down and he, slammed his hands on the canvas, he's pissed at himself, not at me. No, so.
Shawn, over here. In the beginning, he started off fighting conventional, and then he switched to his regular southpaw situation. How did you assess that as you were going into the fight? Were you able to deal with that properly in the beginning?
Yeah, well, you know what, we trained basically southpaw for him. We knew that a majority of the fight by him would be fought southpaw, and we know that that's where his comfort zone is as a southpaw. So there were a few times where he switched during the fight, and there was no thing. I think we handled that accordingly the way we always do. And, the switch really wasn't a problem. I think it was just more so me. I was a little hesitant tonight, and I don't think I kept my foot on the gas pedal enough.
Shawn, when that first knockdown came in the 10th, did you feel like you were wilting to Crawford's pressure? Because it seemed like at that point the fight was dead even.
No, I didn't. I thought that, even the movement and the moving backwards, moving to the side and things of that nature, I felt like I was doing what I needed to do and what I wanted to do. I didn't feel like it was him pushing me forward or anything like that. So I thought that the fight was going accordingly.
You've literally fought everyone, and look, I mean, the heartbreaking scene of you pounding that canvas at the end of the fight, there was a lot of anguish there. You've done everything. Do you think you'll be back, or could this be it for you, or what are the reasons to continue your career having fought everyone like you have?
Yeah, you know what? It's a great question, and I kind of expected that question because of fighting everyone. I'm prepared to retire. I was prepared to announce my retirement tonight. Win, lose, or draw, even if it was a draw, they were telling us we were going to have to do it again. I was not going to do it again. I'm announcing my retirement right now. Yeah.
Great career. All of it.
One of the guys I admire in this sport is Andre Ward, and I heard he had me up on the scorecard, so shout out to Andre Ward. One thing, I kind of hang on to every word that Dre says. I really admire him and everything that he's been to this sport. And we were in the back room about to do Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder 3. Someone comes up to him, all of the talk about Ward, Canelo. And they said, "Come on, champ, you know you got one left in you." And he says, "Why can't I just have one more left in me?" And the guy was confused. Meanwhile, I'm like, you said it all right there. Why do I have to continue? Why can't I just have one more in me and save it? Why can't I just have one more in me? I think a lot of times the way that this sport has gone, you guys expect us to fight for 15, 20 years. You expect us to, you said, we hope he leaves this game with his health, but you never really know. I've been fortunate enough to be in some really big fights against some really good guys and always have my health at the end of the night. And, you know, with that being said, I knew that Errol Spence Jr. was going to be my last fight. I knew that in 2017, I think it was, when he won his championship fight. And I said that he would be the last one I fought. And after we fought, I felt like there was something else, and something else was Terence Crawford. I said, win, lose, or draw, it doesn't matter. I've given this sport a great deal, from the training to the competition, and then more training. And you know, with that being said, after you fought everybody at the top, what more do you do? I'm not going to be a gatekeeper. You would look at the 4 losses and would assume that, hey, well, you know, he could be a gatekeeper. Now, that's not the life that I want to live. I've never wanted to live the life of a fighter who fought into his 40s. Quiet as it's kept, we wanted to fight when we wanted to end this when we was 30. We talked about that, and I'm 34, and now it's the time.
Kenny, that being said, did that play in your mind as you made the stoppage, that knowing that this was probably going to be his last fight?
He didn't know, unless he had feelings of some sentiments of his own. But this is a conversation we haven't had. Now.
Shit. Also, I think there's about a minute and a half left in the 10th round. Had there been less time in the round, would you still have stopped it after the second round?
Plan on stopping it. Can you hear me? I plan on stopping it going into the fight. Already knew this.
Okay. But if there had been less time left in the round, like
Didn't matter. If I saw what I saw, that was my plan.
Okay. Well, first of all, everybody loves Shawn.
Thank
We
you.
know how hard you work. And the other thing is this. I commend your father for stopping the fight. Most people are criticizing your dad. But I think you and your dad, I know your relationship. I mean, you are so close. No one knows what goes on with you guys. And I think that when your dad said it's over, I think that you basically said, yes, Dad, let's go.
Keith Heidick, BoxingScene.com. Kenny, you had mentioned in the ring that you were not pleased with Shawn's preparation for the fight. Can you tell us what you didn't like about it?
No knock against Shawn in terms of who he is, but as he mentioned earlier, when he thought that Errol Spence would be the last fight, maybe before he fought him, he thought that. I'm his father. I knew that. So I knew everything that was going to happen with him before it happened. So this was something that was coming, you know. Not to be negative towards him, but because I'm his father, I could see these things. Jeff, you can attest to this. I can see it in the training. I can see it in the movements. I can see it in looking at the clock to see how long I got to be here today. I can see it. The most important thing, more important than anything else, and I smiled, not just because it was you, Jeff, but I appreciate what you said, and I smiled. But I smiled because someone said I was criticized. Please, criticize me. Go right ahead. I love it. Because at the end of the day, which this is where we at right now, we are at the end. We're at the end. Tomorrow morning, I will be able to look out of my window at his house right across the street from me. I will be able to play with my little G-man. Those are my grandsons. I will be able to walk my dog over to his house. I will be able to hug my daughter-in-law. And I'll be able to love on my son. So we won before we got here. We were already winning. It's just what's expected in the ring. But in the biggest part of this picture, when this thing is over with, I'm still his father. He's still my son, right? And we get to do that part. That's a long life of that. There's a whole bunch of that to go on, you know. So, you know, I just saw things that told me that it was time. Go ahead, Steve.
Kenny, I know that you're hard on your son in the gym. I've seen that firsthand. Is it a relief now that you could just be his father instead of his trainer? Did that weigh on you at all the last couple of years or even in this situation?
Absolutely. Absolutely. But when you say I'm hard on him, you got to understand the reasoning for that is exactly what we dealt with tonight. You know, I'm hard to the point of, listen, man, I need you to protect yourself. I need you to go home to your wife. I need you to go home to your kids. I need you to be able to play ball with them. I need you to still play ball with me. I've jumped out of airplanes with my son at 20,000 feet multiple times. I've raced my son in cars at over 100 miles an hour. He beat me. I've, you know, rode camels in the Sahara Desert with my son. I got to continue to do those things. This is just a small part of his life. And people would ask me some time ago, he had over 270 some amateur fights. They say, why you fight him so much? Why? He was winning. Steve, if he got hurt in fight number 3 as an amateur, we wouldn't have continued with this. He was winning, right? He may have been right in this fight, right there with the guy. It was a surprise for me that he went down, and I've never seen him go like that. And then what happened after that, he got hurt again, and I saw him at a deficit. He didn't have everything it took to protect himself. And coming in here, I wasn't seeing that same thing going on, protecting himself. So the most important thing is that I'm able to walk away from here and he's safe. That's it.
Let's give a round of applause.
Thank you, Shawn. Thank you, Kenny.
Let's give a round of applause to a great fighter, a great career, and one of the best commentators in the sport of boxing, Shawn Porter.
And I said this earlier, and I believe it to be true. There will be a day, there will be a time, on multiple occasions, when Shawn and Terence kids actually play together. I want to see that, Terence. Yes. And I must say that Shawn ain't been toughing his boys up, so we're gonna have to get ready for that. Them play days, we gotta get ready for them play days. And you know the respect and love I have for you, it never ends. I gave him a genuine smile. He's victorious. He's a great fighter. I respect and appreciate the opportunity to coach against Bo Mack. I can remember way back in the amateurs when Bo Mack rolled out the carpet for me in his gym. You know, I was looking at a picture just yesterday of you and Shawn when y'all was about 15 years old. Nobody knew back then that this would happen except God. And this was God's plan. Julie Goldstecker, go way back with us. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you, Terence.
Last thing I'm gonna say is thank you guys. God bless you, and enjoy this man right here, man. He's quite a guy. You already know that. Yeah, congratulations, bud.
I didn't expect you to say anything. Okay, how about excellent 1, 2?
Hey, Terence, congratulations right down in front here. Do you think this was your best performance?
No, I wouldn't say that.
No? How do you critique yourself?
I did good, but at times, you know, I let Shawn work when I could have been working with him, but I just gave him the confidence to keep doing what he was doing at times. But I feel like, you know, Jeff Horn, Felix Diaz's performances was better than tonight.
Interesting. He said, in trying to describe you, he said there's no other way to describe Terence than different. When you hear somebody refer to you as different, what do you think they refer to that way, talking about you like that?
Well, I think they refer to my versatility and my ability to adjust. And not only adjust, but adjust in a way where, you know, I take away their strength and, you know, make it their weaknesses.
And my last question for you, you know, obviously you're becoming a free agent. Bob said if you know, he would talk to you about individual fights. He mentioned Spence. He mentioned Josh Taylor. Is there any individual fight out there that appeals to you more than others? And secondly, when do you make the decision? How do you kind of go through it and come up with your decision?
Well, I'm pretty sure my decision is made already. You know, Bob couldn't secure me the Spence fight when I was with him. So how you going to secure me the Spence fight when I'm not with him? So, you know, I'm moving forward with my career right now, and I wish everybody the best.
Hey, Terence, straight back. Congratulations on your victory. My question for you is, I know you were informed that Spence was here. They showed him up on the screen. You know, he didn't stop Shawn Porter the way you did. His other losses against top guys, Kell Brook and Thurman, were also close decisions. Can you tell me about your thoughts about not only being the winner of the fight, but doing it in a manner in which those other guys that were at the top of the division did not do? You did it in a very spectacular way.
Well, you got to understand, you know, like, it's been a long time coming. You know, everybody was downgrading the level of competition that I was fighting, said I'm not fighting nobody and this and that and that and this. But today, I got the opportunity to fight another top welterweight, as y'all say, you know, and it showed today. You know, it showed that the guys that I was fighting, they wasn't no pushovers, they wasn't no walkovers. Y'all might didn't know them because their name wasn't highly out there like the rest of our names, but they was talented fighters. You know, they was undefeated fighters. They was hungry. They didn't have nothing to lose. They never lost before, so they don't know how to lose. But a lot of people, you know, they criticize them. They see how I win, and, you know, they down talk them and they bash them and say, oh, well, he's not fighting nobody. Well, today I fought somebody and the same thing happened.
But how did you feel that you were the guy that knocked him out and those guys couldn't?
Well, it's the same, you know what I mean, with anybody else. You know, I was beating undefeated fighters. I was the first person to stop them and, you know, make them look the way they did, and they never looked it the same after, you know, and people will call them washed up and say, oh, well, they not this, they not that. But have you seen anybody do Kell Brook the way that I did?
And lastly, it was close on the scorecards. At one point, I believe, on two of the cards, you were ahead on all three. In your mind, I felt like it was a close fight. I think a lot of guys at ringside did. How did you feel it was in the ring? How close did you think it was?
I didn't think it was close at all, to tell you the truth. I was out there, you know, doing what I wanted to do, you know, and once I got the look that it was close, I had to turn it up in that round, and that's when I got the stoppage.
Now, Terence, James Bell of Boxing Source. Talk about that adjustment to go southpaw pretty much in the second and third round and catching Shawn Porter with those counters.
Well, Shawn Porter, he was just trying to land that overhand right, not seeing that I can catch him in between that shot. And the southpaw stance would be the best shot to catch him with.
Terence, after a while where you were, you know, done with the Spence fight, but from what you said to Bob and just now, it sounds like you might want that fight once more. Do you want that fight still? And if it takes having to go to PBC, will you do that?
Man, like I said before, man, I don't need Spence. You know, I've been the #1 guy in the division since I came here. You know, 3-time, you know, 3-weight world champion, you know what I mean? Like, undisputed world champion. You know, come in the welterweight division, my first fight, and win a title. Like, the things that I've been doing in my whole career is nothing compared to Spence. You know, not to take nothing away from him. You know, he's unified and whatnot. But like I said, you know, it is what it is at the end of the day.
But William King for 95.7 Omaha. When's the next time you're going to come to Omaha and showcase your skills?
Oh, I don't know. You know, I'll be there tomorrow, but I don't know when the next time we gonna fight.
Now, and then my last question: what side are you? What side are you? Are you the A side or are you the B side?
Man, I'm the all side.
Terence, Marcus Hayes, Fight Hub TV. Terence, I'd like to ask you, you landed a lot of thudding punches on Porter early in the fight. Was there any time in particular where you hit him and you said, look, I got him, it's almost over? What was the turning point for you?
No, I didn't get to hit him like I wanted to in them early rounds. I believe I was grazing him a little bit. You know, I caught him with some good body shots that I know he felt, you know, but as far as to the head, I was grazing him because he was rolling. He had good head movement. And, you know, I was kind of loading up at times.
What went through your mind after the first knockdown?
Oh, I got him. You know, once you know what I mean, I get him on the ground, you know, I'm coming back for the kill.
Terence, it seems significant that Spence came to the fight. I know what you've said, you know, but like this is the fight that
So
just
if
makes
you know
so
what
much
I
sense.
said, why you keep asking me?
I'm not asking you, but do you feel? I mean, that he made some kind of gesture to you by coming to the fight?
How many fights did I go to his? Did he make any gesture to fight me or to call me out or say, let's get in the ring?
So nothing changes from this?
Nothing changed.
What, I mean, you were talking about your future. I mean, have you already scripted in your mind that you'll operate as a free agent moving forward, or what exactly will you do in regards to promotional ties moving forward?
I don't know. I'm going to let my little headbutt heal up, and then, you know, we're going to go to the drawing board and see what's best for Terence Crawford and his career moving forward.
Terence, Mohammed Mubarak with the Electronic Urban Report. How much more of this are you going to allow yourself to go through in this business of boxing? And what does your future hold beyond this?
You said allow myself to go through what, boxing?
Yeah, in the business of boxing, and at the end of the day, what do you plan to do with your life?
I don't know. You know, what my plans to do is to take care of my 6 kids. You know, that's my ultimate plan. And, you know, build a bright future for them, you know, and give them something to look up to as, you know, their father. You know, so that's my ultimate plan. So everything I do is for them at the end of the day.
Hey, Terence, right here in the middle. Congratulations on the win. Earlier this week, you was pretty much tipping your cap to Canelo, you know, giving him praise, saying that he earned the #1 pound-for-pound spot. Do you feel like you definitively shut the door? You don't want to see any more Canelo at the top, only you?
Canelo's a great talent. You got to put him up there at the top. Like I said, you know, my performance today would determine whether you put me #1 or #2, you know, and that's not for me to decide, you know. It's all opinionated. So, you know, y'all make y'all opinion, y'all assumptions, and y'all do what y'all do. And y'all vote on it, and y'all tell me who's #1 and who's #2.
Thank you, guys. Terence, if you want to have one last statement before you go, the floor is yours.
Yeah, let's go, man. Me and Shakur fighting for his title. He got his little belt. You know what I mean? My little brother got his little belt. You know what I mean? Shout out to my little bro, man. He the next one. I'm telling y'all right now, and I've been telling y'all for years, he going to be the next undisputed champion of the world, pound for pound, #1 fighter in the world right here.
The next up, what weight? What weights are going down?
Top 45.